Hi, welcome to the recap of Mysteries, Magic, and Mayhem. I'm Spirit Messenger, Psychic Medium, and Cold Case File Investigator, Dr. Vicki Monroe. Last night's show was amazing, and I'm just going to give you the recap, if you can, just in case you missed it. But I'd love to let you know that you can watch this show live every Monday night from 7 to 9 Eastern Time and be a part of the conversation. You just have to sign in, and it's free. This show is free. The information is free, and we are here for you, taking your suggestions for what you'd like to have on the next show. But we had a guest last night, Starla Perico, who did a phenomenal job discussing indigo children, crystal children, and the impact that they're having on the world today, and who and what they are, what their characteristics and what their incredible talents are. And you might just be surprised to find out that you're probably one of them. I'll give you a brief lowdown on it all. The first, what Starla had mentioned, one of the questions that I asked her in the interview was, what are some of the characteristics of indigo children? And if you want to recap the show, that will be broken down and put on my YouTube channel. But we also talked about the differences in when indigo children between phases, like they started coming in about 200, some say 2,000 years ago. And each one is going through a different stage through history, so they are adapting to that time frame. If you wanted more information on indigo children, there's a wonderful website that she put up on my Facebook, Spirit Messenger, Vicki Monroe. If you look at that, you'll find a great deal of information on that, and I would highly recommend, as Starla did last night, that everybody, parent, young person, grown person, older person, watch this. There is a part of you that is in this, and it is an amazing, amazing story. I guess indigo children started to come into the world a long time ago. I don't think there's really a set date, but the first phase were more like flower children, you know, make love not war during Vietnam and things like that. Is kind of I'll just give that as a basic definition. And there wasn't so much that they could do, so they put a lot of things into the power of love, and you know, that was their point. The second phase of indigo children came in between the 60s and about 1978, and that was a challenge for these souls, because you were seeing a lot of the New Age kids at that time were coming in to kind of help us save ourselves from what we had already done through Vietnam, through the returning of soldiers from Vietnam, the wars, and that was a time when the earth was going through a huge upheaval, and I can remember people talking about garbage everywhere and dirty streets and the pollution, and how it was such a horrific time. And these children came in that are now adults and are making clean energy, making, you know, they're the ones that are changing the way houses are built, more eco-friendly. And then you have the children that are being born from the 90s, from the 70s through right now. And they are the artists, they are the designers, they are these incredibly deep, I can't even tell you how much I've learned from all of this. And knowing now that I actually had one, have had two of them. But also we talked about labeling and how children should never be labeled. But then labeling an indigo child is different, because as the study shows, I guess 800% since the 1992, I think it was, of children have been labeled autistic. Or what I want to say is, are they not necessarily not communicating with you in a vocal level, but what we found out was they communicate on a telepathic level, which is even more profound, and they can also be diagnosed as far as having something like Asperger's disease. But they also have, they're the daydreamers, they're in school, the ones that have difficulty paying attention, and we discussed how teachers can actually help these children. We need to get the new teachers involved and train them for these students who can literally be very bored, but have, according to the rules, we all have to do it, we have to go through school, but there's been a big influx in at-home schooling as well, which is a lot of parents seeing their children having these potentials and these abilities and utilizing them and really paying attention to what their children are saying. So I think one of the most important things that we came to last night was that everyone has some form of a gift, an ability, and they are indigo. We all have a power that is indigo. And being a psychic medium, it's really important that everybody understand that you can polish that ability as long as you listen to it. And when you ignore it, you lose a very profound, very large impact on society and what you're here for when you ignore what you know. And indigo children, and I can tell you from my own experience, they just seem to know. And they'll tell you, people will say, well, how do you know that this is so? How do you know this is this and this is that? I don't know. I just do. And you know it completely. You know it emphatically. And I say that all the time. People will ask me, well, how do you know what you're seeing is real? I don't know. I just do. I know. I know in every fiber of my being, this is what indigo children do. And that is an indigo child. I have a son that was born with what they said would be Asperger's. He would never learn. He would never read. He would never do. Well, he's graduating with 2 degrees from college. He's brilliant. And yet one of the most loving, compassionate, caring people. He doesn't understand a lot of the way the world works. He doesn't understand why people argue, why people fight, and why do people hate so much. And the whole point, he said, the purpose of life is to care and create and make things better, not to continually repeat what history has already shown us. Doesn't work. So they're amazing children. Some say they're very blue-eyed and fair-skinned. No, not necessarily. They could be any ethnic origin. And that's the other thing. That's a label. Don't label your children. One important aspect of the show that we did last night was when you want to spend time with your child, or when you set time, you need to set time with your child. But when you do, make that child the only focus in that moment. Whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you have, make sure that you are completely in the moment with your child. It is so, so important. Because it doesn't matter how much time, but the quality of the time that you're giving them. And again, you can look up many of the distinguishing characteristics of what indigo children are. They are in the millions right now and continually coming back and will continue to do so. They're the ones that are helping us to heal ourselves, find ourselves, listen to ourselves again, but also to show you that there's innocence, there's love, there's happiness, and when people look at things in that way, that life is good. And they live their lives in that simple, simple arena of it's not a religious faith, but that you have faith. They know this when they're born. But I can also tell you, you knew this when you were born. And many of us have forgotten that. So this is how they see things. And it's okay if they want to be labeled different. Some prefer it. I'm different, but that's okay. Others don't want to be labeled as different. They want to fit in. And those are the generations that are of the 80s, the 90s, and some right now, because they tend to lose track of what they're here for, and they follow these reality shows like Jersey Shore and things like that. I have nothing against that. I've actually never watched it, but that isn't reality. I mean, if kids really believe that this is reality, and you're an Indigo child, they know immediately this isn't reality. This isn't, to them, even entertainment. But to some people, it's funny. I mean, it's silly and it's crazy, and that's, that's okay. But what we need to do as parents, as guardians, as caretakers of young people, is to listen. Listen to what they have to say. An autistic child tends to go within. Why? Because it only is acknowledging the other side, where it's come from, and it listens to the voice of the spirit that's within. They don't really need to communicate on the outside world, so they tend to go within. But after all of the information that we've gathered, parents of children that are so-called autistic actually do send telepathic messages to their parents. And you'll see this on the documentary that is on my website. It will be, but it's also on the Facebook page, Spirit Messenger, Vicki Monroe. And please watch it. It is phenomenal. And so I think, and if you have also any questions, you can also go to Starla Perico. She's on my website if you want to email her any questions, or contact her for more information about Indigo Children and Crystal Children. She's the person to talk to. I have learned so much, and really this resonated with me because I went through all this. And, I was the daydreamer in class. I didn't get good grades. I did see things. I talked to people. I didn't need to be a part of any clique or, I just didn't need it. It was never a big deal for me. Whereas I had a sister, that was the most important thing. And I never got that. I never understood, why do you have to have everybody like you? You don't. I would consider one or two very, very good friends that would be there for me in a heartbeat. No matter what the situation, the good, the bad, the ugly, they're there for you. And Indigo children and Indigo people instinctively, intuitively know this. They are not big communicators. They're not big talkers. But when they find their niche, and that usually comes after high school, and they know what they want to do, they excel at a very rapid speed, and they become the experts in their field. But they also say there is no such thing as an expert, because they will continually want to learn as much as possible. There's always something beyond the horizon that they're going to try to search for. But it was really amazing. And so, again, this is a recap of last night's show, which was about Indigo children. And I hope, if you didn't get to see it, that you'll watch the clips from it. And then we'd love to get your feedback. Next week's show on Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, Mysteries, Magic, and Mayhem. Don't forget, you have to sign in. If you want to be a part of the chat, you've got to sign into the show and find Mysteries, Magic, and Mayhem. And then you become a part of the chat. We do contests, giveaways, all kinds of things. But it's also a place where everybody is able to learn. And you find that you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And that's really the most important thing, is to learn about yourself and be able to filter out the negative and bring in the positive, and to help create this next generation that really is going to change everything about the way we live in society today. Everything about our world today will change, and if we let it, and we allow them to talk and to speak and to be vocal in any way they can, they are going to make things so much better. We just have to be their support system, the team that stands behind them. And again, all of you are Indigo. It's you can find out which exact type you are. But again, watch the documentary. You could go to my website at www.vickimonroe.com. You could shoot me an email, Vicki@VickiMonroe.com. You can also schedule a personal reading with me via Skype on the phone. Go to my website, click on under sessions, and you'll see how much time, and all I need is a voice, and I could do a session for you. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, we hope we're going to be talking to a wonderful woman who writes children's books on the law of attraction. And her website is also going to be listed on mine, as well as on my Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter. And I hope that this has been insightful. And I really, again, I can't encourage you enough to go and watch this. It's an hour long. Take an hour out of your day. It's extremely important that you do this. And love your children for who they are, and what they're doing and why they're here. They're here for a purpose, just as you were. You might have forgotten yours. Don't let your children forget theirs. Because in reminding them why they're here, or letting them be who they are in being here, you can help yourself find your way back. And that's the most important thing. It really is. So until next time, I hope you'll join us next week on Mysteries, Magic, and Mayhem. I'm Spirit Messenger Dr. Vicki Monroe. Thank you so much to Starla Perico and her wonderful advice. She is my website PR administrator, dear friend, and she's not feeling good today, so you can send her a good well wish if you'd like. I would. And tell her what a wonderful show she did. She was fantastic. And we're going to have other guests. If you have somebody that you'd like to recommend, you can email me. But again, wonderful show. Thank you so much, Starla. Thank you for everybody that was involved in last night's conversation. And we'll see you next time on Mysteries, Magic, and Mayhem. I'm Spirit Messenger Dr. Vicki Monroe, Psychic Medium, as well as Cold Case File Investigator. And I'm going to answer one question because she was on last. What's my pendant? My pendant actually came from a friend of mine. One of my really good friends is a dragonfly, and I love dragonflies. Nothing else to it. It's just, I love it. I love dragonflies, and I seem to attract them. If I go outside, you might see one or two, and as my husband says it, you know, you got to get in the car to hide from them all because there'll be 1,000 flying around me. And somebody once said to me on the other side that dragonflies are fairies in disguise. So it's their little spirits that are from the outside world that can change formation and become visitors for us. And that's why I think a lot of people connect with dragonflies and they don't understand why. Well, there's one reason is that. So anyway, thank you for your question. I will be doing readings, yes, and you can get your own personal readings, so we'll do that. But give my office a call, and we'll be doing readings on other shows. Not to worry. So I will see you next time on Mysteries, Magic, and Mayhem again, saying goodbye again, because I answered a couple questions. But thanks again, Starla. And again, I'm Spirit Messenger, Psychic Medium, Cold Case File Investigator, author, radio host, television host, and all that other stuff. International speaker. Just add it all on there. Vicki Monroe, and I will look forward to seeing and hearing from you next time right here on BlogTV. Take care and have a good week.